For more on this, let's bring in political expert Stefan Dolgert from Brock University. Stefan, Trump did most of the talking during this Oval Office meeting. How do you think Carney did dealing with him?
Well, I think it depends on your frame of reference. I mean, if you're looking at CBC coverage, CNN's coverage, you would say he did pretty well. You would say he didn't get Zelensky, right? There was no ambush. He kept things cordial, but he did, say firmly, Canada's not for sale, reiterated that. So you might be inclined to take away, a kind of optimistic message from the day. But I wouldn't tell you were wrong if you were a little bit irritated or embarrassed for the prime minister. Trump was saying again and again, this annexation stuff, and essentially laid out a plan for destroying the Canadian auto industry, the Canadian steel industry, the Canadian aluminum industry. And, Carney just sat there and took it. And indeed, he praised Trump multiple times for his transformational leadership. And you might say a little more backbone, might have been in order.
Were you surprised about the warmness from Trump? He was very complimentary towards Carney.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because we've seen Trump offering some praise for Carney. Trump likes money men. He has a certain amount of respect for Carney's financial background. But I think it's also an indication that Trump feels he is in control of the relationship. Trump views relationships as you're either dominating or you're being dominated. And I think he feels like he is very much in control. And Carney's body language was still fairly submissive, I would say, toward Trump, even if he was pushing back a little bit. So I think Trump is polite in part because he feels like he has Carney's number.
Do you think Carney held back, didn't push back as Trump laid out these plans to take over the auto industry, saying multiple times they didn't want Canadian goods because he was concerned about getting Zelensky, as you said?
Yeah, I think, if I'm offering some mild criticism, potential criticism of the prime minister, it's because I understand that he had a very, delicate line that he was trying to walk, where he didn't want to get this kind of terrible, the terrible image that we had of this argument with Zelensky and Vance and Trump. And, so he's trying to play the long game, right? He's trying to flatter Trump, but, behind the scenes, maybe actually, work for Canada's interests. So I think he is trying to do that. But it's a dangerous game, and it's not clear that Trump actually responds well to people who flatter him. Often he just views it as a kind of more leverage, and that he thinks he can just continue to take advantage of the relationship.
Trump was very clear that there's no change to U.S. tariff policy, and there won't be. Do you think Carney can move the dial on this file?
I don't think he can move it by being polite and by conceding too many things. So, a lot remains to be seen about what who the personnel are and what the process is for how these negotiations are going to take place. But I would say that given that Trump keeps going back to, essentially wanting to absorb Canada and destroy, Canadian industry, it's not really clear to me that Carney is going to be able to, get rid of these tariffs or these other things, because Trump has this large plan that he seems to be trying to implement.
That's political expert Stefan Dolgert from Brock University. Stefan, thanks for your insights as always.
Thank you.